Welcome to the Abingers podcast, where we assemble weekly to binge the MCU and all things nerd, old and new. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, TikTok at Abingers Podcast. One word, ladies and gentlemen, ABINGERS Podcast. Give us a like, a comment, and let us know what you think of the show. You can also find the video version of this podcast at youtube.com/The Abingers. You want to see our beautiful faces? Check us out over at YouTube. Give us a like, a comment, let us know what you think. But I'm just one of your hosts, Brandon. I can't do it alone. Emmy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm just great.
That's good.
Everything's great.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Keith, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that we have a Chris Prattless episode to talk about. Just for once.
A couple of days ago, we did review episode 2. Not a couple minutes ago, a couple days ago. We're such a genuine podcast, but we are here dropping What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas, Season 2, Episode 3 of What If. If you have not watched it, please do not listen any further. We're going to spoil it. Don't want it spoiled for you, so tune on out. We will be back. You can turn us on when you have watched the show. That sounded weird. What is up with me? I'm not trying. I swear to God, between
Turn us on whenever you
Little
want.
Peters and turning us on, I promise you, I'm just poor with words tonight.
Busy week.
Busy week. Guys, what if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? I'm going to start this one because I haven't started the last couple, so I'm going to give my initial thoughts and review of What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas. All right, so here we go. Here's my thoughts. I thought this was kind of a waste. I thought that this one was my least favorite. Probably my least favorite. Yeah. It was just not good. It was like, oh, Justin Hammer wants to come in. Cool. He wants to take blood and create a supervillain, and he wants to, and all the other Avengers were like, Happy, shut the fuck up. We're having a party over here. Just shut up for a little bit. And Happy's the head of security. He's like, dude, hey, this is a problem. Fuck off, Happy. And then Happy, his leg turns purple for a good minute, and then his whole body turns purple. Then he's like...
For no reason.
For no reason. Yeah, I mean, he takes Hulk's blood, but yeah, it still was just like, okay, now Happy is this big purple monster running around. That's cool. It just felt very like just rah rah bang bang rah rah rah. You know, like it just in Darcy, she works for Happy. Cool. This felt very season 1 of What If for me. Just felt very throwaway. Just felt very like, let's just find a reason to put Happy Hogan smashing shit with Justin Hammer. Just wasn't a fan of it. I just thought the plot was thin. I thought the development was thin. Plus, who gives a fuck about Iron Man 2? Am I right? So yeah. So I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And I can see Emmy's poker face is washing away because she is thinking about the blood in the water. And then, well, no, this is Hulk's blood.
And then the sharks will come.
God, fuck your coming sharks.
All I have to do.
So it's just so
Dun, 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 dun.
That's how they come. When you dun 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 dun, sharks come every time.
That's each sperm.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all. Anyway,
Horrifying.
yeah. So it's just one of those things where I genuinely, this episode just did not do it for me. I fell asleep in the middle of it, had to wake up. My wife was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh yeah." This episode really was kind of dull. Didn't do much to maintain my attention.
It was so dull that you woke up your pregnant wife to complain about it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I fell asleep and she woke me up.
Fell asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard that wrong.
Yeah. No, that's what
It was.
my wife, who
You're
is
like, hey.
she is. We are expecting our first, and I was like, "Hey, this episode sucks, and I need you to wake up and let me tell you why." Screw you in the baby's sleep.
It sounds like something I would do.
Yeah. So, no, honestly.
The only reason I assumed.
I hate to say it because I thought episode 1 was good. I thought episode 2 was borderline great. And then this one was just not good to me. And I don't mean anything. I mean, I know I said that Iron Man 2 joke. It just really didn't do anything for me. It just felt like, let's just smash this shit together and create a, And that's what it felt like. It just felt very like, all right, cool. Anyway, not a fan. Emmy, I would love to get to your thoughts, but I don't give a fuck about them. So, Keith, what did you think about What If episode 3? She has to hold it in longer, and I love it. What did you think of episode 3?
What I thought about What If season 2, episode 3, What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas is, this is my favorite episode of the season so far.
Shut up! Shut up!
I am a diehard fan. I am a big fan of wordplay and rhyme, and I'm glad that they played with it. I am also aware that Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau, this is a redeeming arc for me for Jon Favreau in general. I grew up loving Jon Favreau and everything. He would pop up in Friends, he would pop up in Sopranos, he'd be in everything. He would write his own stuff, he would direct his own stuff. He's amazing. And then he made the Lion King live action documentary, and that sucked balls. So
Did
now
you say documentary?
I like him again because he
Lion
said,
King live action documentary. Like, this is the tale of Simba's true daughter.
In the press junket for that movie, he said 30 times, I was trying to make like a documentary kind of realism to it. And everybody time I hear that, I'm like, no, you weren't. They sing.
No,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The fact that he said that is hysterical, actually. Oh, poor Favreau. Okay. Yeah.
But he said, I'll come back and voice in season 2 of What If Happy Hogan gets his own episode, and if I get to call into the comics and have Happy Hogan turn into the Freak.
I was going to say he was Happy the Freak Hogan. Yeah.
Oh my God. I loved him turning into the Freak and hearing Jon Favreau do what he does best when he acts. It's so much fun to hear him just slowly turning into this chaotic animal that is enjoying the violence that he's causing and creating. It's so much fun. And hearing Sam Rockwell is one of my favorite fucking actors. He is so brilliantly like rhythmic and clever and quick, and his dancing is so funny to me. I adored this episode for those two reasons. Yes, there's many things that I'm sure over time will wear away, but I really enjoyed the shit out of this, especially being like the Christmas episode.
All right. I know I'm in the minority because Emmy shot me a bird as soon as you gave your thoughts, Keith. Like, I could feel it was directed towards me.
I only shot one bird?
I saw one.
I shot a few.
Two turtle doves.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you have one and I have one, we'll be friends forever. Never mind that you're still homeless in New York. I'm going to go be back with my family now, but here's a fucking ornament. Peace. Macaulay Culkin, you're a dick in Home Alone 2.
He probably got her room service. Did you see the bill at the end? Probably got her some room service.
I think that was all him and the ice cream.
Some Skinamax.
Oh, fuck. Skinamax.
Did little Kevin McAllister order some Skinamax while he was staying in the
Oh, not for him, for the bird lady.
That's fucked up.
Oh,
that is
God.
Fucked up. That's more fucked.
He asked for it.
Here's some.
Kevin, could you get me some Skinamax? That'd be great.
Can you do the skibbity, please? Yeah.
No alpha humor. Not yet.
All right, Emmy. What did you think of episode 3? How much did you love it? Is your favorite? And why was it your favorite?
Okay. I love the movie Die Hard, but only as much as a person who is me can love Die Hard. And so this episode took Die Hard and was like, what if you could love it even more?
That doesn't make any
like,
fucking sense. Like that makes no fucking sense. You made my brain hurt. Like that whole fucking sentence. Like you're like,
yeah,
Die Hard, love it, but I can't really love it because it's Die Hard. But also this made me like realize how much can I really love Die Hard. Like what the fuck are you saying? I'm so confused. This
is like if Die Hard and Iron Man 2 had a baby, and I love Iron Man 2, and
him
Die
crawling
Hard's
through those vents, I was definitely Renee definitely said Die Hard. She was like, oh yeah, this is straight up Die Hard.
Oh, I said Die Hard immediately.
Yeah,
fucking immediately. Yeah. Like that.
You and Renee are real ones.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
But like I really enjoyed this because of Sam Rockwell, because of Iron Man 2, because of Die Hard, because it was more of what I want. Like I want to see these characters in a different way, but not in like a crazy fucking crazy way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of What If episodes go like so far
Yeah.
fantastical that I'm like, that's too
Into
far.
the weeds. They lose you a
Yeah.
little. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. But this
I
one
get you.
stayed pretty grounded
Mhm.
and I enjoyed it.
I love the part where like the Hulk's blood, where it's like, why is it going in? Like, and it ejects, and it's like
I love
like,
the plunger. Why did it do that?
yeah. And I was like,
Such a
that's
good
it.
line.
And I bought it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that would totally happen. And like, it was like, that's the most comic book thing to ever happen right there. Is just inject it. I thought that was cool as well. And I really do think Jon Favreau stole the show with his voice acting in this. I thought he had a great time. I thought it was a lot of fun. So, and to see
Very
the freak
clearly, yeah.
on the screen, I bring Favreau back and the freak in the MCU, the larger scale MCU. I would take it.
He didn't get cured, according to the end. So he's been the freak all the whole time. Now this is all What If. So it's another
but
universe.
man, how cool would that be? But we see him maybe some.
I have
So
to say,
polite.
Yeah.
if I say one bad thing about this episode,
Mhm.
the animators did Jon Favreau dirty. They did
They don't
him
know how to
dirty.
make it look like him. They don't.
Him animated, it didn't look like him at all, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And it was
He
rude.
changes so frequently too in the MCU. You don't see two movies.
Yeah.
Maybe like Endgame and then Spider-Man Far From Home are the closest the two where he looks
The
identical.
most similar, yeah.
I don't know. I may
But
say
just-
Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, maybe. I don't know. I feel like he looks pretty
Yeah.
similar in those two movies as well. He has a bigger part in Iron Man 3, but
Yeah,
I think Iron Man 2 is the
he's got a
leanest.
beard.
no, he doesn't have
I
a
think he's
beard in
just
Iron Man
super
3.
lean.
elitist.
In Iron Man 2, he looks super lean in my that's the
Oh,
the,
I thought you said he was elitist.
No,
in Iron Man 2,
yeah,
he was an elite.
he was in good shape. And it's funny watching the very first Iron Man. Like, you're like, God, baby Favreau. Like, you know, he's so
Yeah.
young. And then you see him in
Yeah.
Infinity War Endgame, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh.
And his his No Way Home speech. God, I don't know.
We watched
Mm.
Daredevil recently, and
Not
like
No Way
even
Home.
watching
Far
him
From
as
Home. Sorry, Emmy. Far From Home speech. Sorry.
Foggy, like
Mhm.
he was so young. He was so young. We were all
Yeah.
so young. Oh,
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, for
Why-
real.
Why do we get old?
Hey, Maria Hill's not dead in this. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, not
It
yet.
is nice.
Not yet, but give her one
Not
episode.
yet.
Give her one episode of a throwaway show, and they're gonna offer and make no consequences for it. Just kidding.
I have another positive about this episode to make your heart grow 3 times the size or whatever.
What do you got?
Ready?
Ready?
This is one of my favorite sweet spots in the Avengers timeline, where they are between Avengers 1 and Avengers 2. The
Mhm.
Stark Tower is the Avengers Tower.
Mhm.
They are on missions together. They know each other really well. They've gotten to know each other. We never really got to see that development
Right.
because right at the end of Ultron, they have to separate again.
Yeah.
And they all get launched into different adventures. So that's when they're having that party at the beginning of Age of Ultron, and you're like, oh, they seem like they've been hanging
Mhm.
out for a while. and
Yeah.
they're, the Avengers from the comic books that you would have probably seen together for years.
Mhm.
That's one of the sweet spots that this episode hit for me, is that it takes place in that fantastic moment where they all just have a headquarters. They're all on
And those
Earth.
6 are still like really like a core. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like that. That's really cool.
Oh, I was gonna fight you, but it's wrong.
Yeah, that's not the first time.
Fight me anyway. We can make something up.
I was because
yeah.
I was gonna say Iron Man.
Just punch
2
him in the
happened-
face. I mean, just swoosh across and just just.
I was gonna say Iron Man 2 happened before the Avengers, which is true, but it still makes sense chronologically that that's the place that we are in. We're not actually like reliving Iron Man 2.
Oh,
It's just
Amy, you're
Iron
so
Man 2 plus.
You're so smart, Amy.
Thank you.
I love when you figure out when you're wrong.
Yeah,
that's good.
Then explain it. in good
Then we don't have to tell you.
Yeah,
It's-
thank you, and I appreciate you guys not pointing out where I was wrong when I've already explained it to myself.
But then we put you on the spot to make you
Thank you
explain
for
it out loud.
making me.
But hey,
It's cool.
it's cool. It's cool. Kat Dennings, fucking awesome. I thought she was really quippy, but it kind of gives me the same almost how you feel about Korg. You know, like I feel like Kat Dennings is kind of falling into this same niche of same like, okay,
Comic
where's
relief.
this? Yeah, exactly. Like what I really liked about Kat Dennings in WandaVision was she grew and she stepped out of that a little bit. I felt like we regressed seeing her like this, and I get it. It's a 30-minute cartoon. Who really gives a shit? It's just it felt like I'm just here to deliver the next quick little you know, or hey.
And it was back in the time where she would have been still doing that.
This
stuff. Like she doesn't have a degree or 18 degrees or whatever.
Right, and the Hulkbuster, for the record, seeing the Hulkbuster and the Freak face off, fuck yes. By the way, my favorite armor in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe is the Mark 44 Hulkbuster. I fucking love that armor. And so to see it in cartoon form and against the Freak, and with Justin Hammer at the helm, fucking rad. I thought it was awesome. Odd complaint. This is super nitpicky. You can call me out that it's super nitpicky. I would agree. The Hulkbuster did not feel heavy. Like he's walking through this building and it just felt like just a casual armor. The Hulkbuster is a fucking gigantic armor. It's like, I mean, it is loud, huge. We saw it in like, watch the scene between Hulk and Hulkbuster. I have a 1/6 scale Hulkbuster. The fucking thing is massive. It felt like when he walked by, like it was like he was tiptoeing and like you couldn't even hear him. And I just would like to see like the camera rumble or the noise or the sound like there's a loud Hulkbuster moving through. That is such a nitpick, but I fucking love that armor. And so for him to just sound like, you know, just walking through casually, I was like, just a little bit of touch there. If I was in the sound studio, I'd be like, oh, you need to make this heavier. This doesn't feel like
it rumble.
Yeah. So anyway, but I love the Hulkbuster armor, and any chance it's on the screen, whatever form it is, I love that. So
it's a valid complaint though. Little touches like that make things either sore or just a little under what they could be, and it's like that same thing as the way that when in Civil War Ant-Man grows big for the first time. The way they slow his motions down, the physics of that, and thinking of that makes it so real looking that it's like
you feel the weight.
The way every large being in every kaiju movie or Godzilla or whatever should be. You need to slow it down because physics dictates that that's what happens when things are bigger. They have a larger span of space to move. They don't move the same speed as you now.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Yeah, that was just it. But otherwise. Fucking yeah. More Hulkbuster in the MCU, please. Love it.
Yeah.
When you were talking about Darcy being the comic relief, I have to say that I absolutely loved it that she named off a couple of movies. Like and then she was like, "Oh, you want me to be your Reginald Bell Johnson?" And he was like, that's the part you remember of this movie. Like they called out that they were doing
a really good line, yeah.
Yeah. That they were doing Die Hard.
She had hit or miss lines for me being the comedic role in it or a comedic supporting actor. There were definitely a lot of lines to choose from, and then there were some really good ones. And her dynamic with specifically Happy when she says "best boss ever," and he goes, "Oh, Darcy, that means a lot to me coming from someone who's had just so many bosses."
Yes,
so good.
It's really cute. I have to bring up the confetti arrow that Tony Stark made for Hawkeye. I mean, it seems fun as fuck. It seems so fun.
It does. It seems like a very fun New Year's.
Yeah.
I love that Tony even uses his inventions for party's sake. So, we can make weapons.
I like that it got for Let It Snow. That moment was really sweet.
Yeah. It was adorable.
It was really adorable.
And Cap was given Iron Man socks from Iron Man, as Justin Hammer pointed out, which
the press lied. These two really do not get along. I like that line a lot. It felt like he got to improvise a lot.
It did. And another thing about Cap too, this is another thing when you have generic white guy number 1 and number 2, like Cap in an elf suit just looked like a dude in an elf suit. Did not I was not buying that was Cap at all.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Especially when they first showed him at the very beginning of the episode. I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Same. Like when there's a shield, I'm like, well, wait, that's Cap? What? Like Cap in an elf suit just doesn't, but it's an alternate timeline. Just doesn't feel like Cap's like, hey, I want to dress as an elf, but maybe I don't know Cap. It just doesn't feel like on brand for him. But either way.
That's my complaint with What If in general, is that so much of 2D animation would take the time to get the likenesses correct, and they're using all 3D animation, and it just, the character models could have been spent a little bit more time getting the likeness exactly right. That was what bugged me about one of my favorite characters, Paul Rudd, in the first season of What If. In the Zombies episode, it didn't look like him to me. And I know Paul Rudd's kind of a generic, handsome brown-haired, blue-eyed guy. But it's like, you could do a little more to, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm trying to do that with every drawing I do, so it's like super obvious to me. But
hey, Marvel,
I know it's.
We know it. We know an artist, just in case you need a, just saying.
I'm busy, guys.
Oh, jeez.
He's got a podcast, man.
Yeah, a very fruitful podcast. He makes so much. So yeah, who needs
$3 a month?
Who needs Marvel Studios when you make $30 a month on our show?
Oh, I said 3.
Oh, sorry, $3, Keith. Sorry.
Is it going down to 3?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you didn't like to eat.
This is why we have other full-time jobs, but we appreciate you guys paying our Zoom bill. We love you for it. Yeah, I mean, Emmy, I know you got several notes.
Of course.
I know this is an Iron Man 2 heavy, so let's get through them. Speed round.
Stop interrupting.
Is this the point that it just says let Emmy talk?
This is it, because
there it is. There it is. Third episode.
There you go.
All right. I love the goons. I love a background goon, man. I love a goon.
Mm-hmm.
And they were perfect. And they very much reminded me of the Die Hard goons, because they were also very much goons.
Yep.
Yep.
This might have been my favorite part of this episode, and probably any episode that I have seen thus far. There is a poster in the background when Happy falls out of the air duct. There's a poster that says teamwork, and it has a whole bunch of fists in a circle, and it is 100%. I feel like it's an ode to Endgame when they all put their fists in a circle.
Nice.
But it's only the original 6. It's only
that's pretty cool.
6.
That's pretty cool.
And I want it so hard.
Yeah.
And
the idea that they were doing that long before Endgame, and then they brought in all these people that they're just adopting into their Avengers team by the end of Endgame. Like that's cool.
I like it.
And like now we've got like a fucking raccoon and android, and like it's
Nebula,
cool.
Yeah.
They called Cap's shield a patriotic frisbee again at some point in this episode.
Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate it.
There is a reference to the elevator.
Yes.
He says he's gonna go down in the elevator. There was a point, and I'm sorry, this is a note that I made and I have to say it out loud. There is a point when the Freak is tearing up it might not be the Freak, it might have been the Hulkbuster. Anyway, somebody's tearing up the Ultron bots, and he tears one leg in half.
That's the Freak. He beats them with their own legs.
Oh my god.
That was gnarly.
And the oil acts as like the blood.
Yeah. I know it's a robot, but that is so fucking brutal, man. To tear it. Oh my gosh. From the
Freak don't give a fuck. The Freak don't give a fuck, man.
If any listeners have seen the movie Bone Tomahawk, which I doubt, I don't know. It's a Kurt Russell movie, and it's a little tiny indie horror film western. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've seen it. It's what happens, and then whack.
With a wheel,
if you've seen it, comment.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no spoilers. But yeah.
And both of you, Abinger co-host, please watch that movie.
I will.
You'll love it.
I think Emmy would really like it. I'll dig it.
Sounds awful.
All right.
Sounds awful.
Speaking of awful, any more notes on this great show?
I think that I might be done.
All right.
I loved it. I loved this episode. This
You know,
episode was
Keith,
what I want.
It was his favorite. You loved it. I'm in the odd man out. So I understand. So I appreciate it, guys. But Keith, anything additional you had to add?
I loved that they were doing a Werner Herzog voice for the AI that was uploaded instead of Jarvis, and he was talking about it's just like, are you calling the Avengers? As the Germans say, no.
Yes. I forgot about that line actually. That made me bust out laughing. So.
They did show the room too that had spandex, leather, and organza.
Nice.
That was like all the stuff that you can. Organza is like a kind of silk material. It's all the stuff that you could make superhero costumes out of. I like.
Oh my gosh!
I did not notice that either. Good catch.
Same.
Oh no.
What?
I actually kind of wish that I didn't look down and see that.
What?
No. There was the point when Hawkeye has to go to the store and buy an Iron Man figure for his
It's like a Turbo
kid.
Man doll.
Exactly like a Turbo Man.
Jingle all the fucking way.
And all of the Iron Man dolls are sold out, and all of the Hawkeye dolls are still there. And I just have to say, Disney, they understand the bit. They understand the bit.
Yep.
They get it.
They poke fun at that like 30 times in the Hawkeye series. I feel they know 100% what is going on with that character.
They do.
Yep. And so
Well,
there was that in here as well.
For all you that love Hawkeye, thank you for expressing your love in so many different ways. We love you too. And we are going to head on out of here and review episode 4 in a few days. So keep a lookout for that. Or maybe in a few minutes. It's the shittiest joke we've ever told. Kept telling.
What do you mean? We're recording tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night we're recording.
Tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow, 2 minutes night, and we'll see.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. We'll start recording that one. But guys, thank you so much for listening to our episode 3 review. Did you like it? Break the tie. It's them two versus me, so I'm equal to both of them. So break the tie. Yeah, let us know what you think. No, youtube.com/The Abingers. You can watch the video version of the show. You want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. You can check us out. Abingers Podcast, ABINGERS Podcast. Give us a like, a comment, and a follow. Also, if you really want to support the show, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Abingers Podcast. $1 keeps our bills paid. And yeah, we really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. We get you a little bonus content, access to our Discord, fun stuff. You give us $1, and we give you our love. And yeah. Could you just give us $1, please? Thank you. Okay, so we're heading on out of here. Yeah, it's getting late. I'm starting to lose my damn mind. Guys, we're heading on out of here. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We love you. Keith, Emmy, final words, guys.
Oh, right in the jingle bells.
Die Hard is Christmas movie.